One shot.
Moving it inside, a shot there by the top of the right, Eamon Sweeney, ball coming back out to Eamon, being tackled there, Eamon getting the kick in, and it's taken there by John McClafferty. John McClafferty getting the ball out to team captain Shane McClafferty. Shane McClafferty, the ball along the ground now, Paul McBride going for it, Paul getting it for Downings. The long ball in towards John Doherty. John takes it well, promising move, getting the ball to danger man Bradley. Michael Bradley, first attack and a point for Downings. So a first move there by Downings. Lovely move, beginning in defence, driven on by Shane McClafferty. John Doherty doing well, and Michael Bradley, their danger man in the forward line, taking the point. It's the first meeting ever of Downings and St Michael's in a county final. The Downings team in goal, Seamus McLaughlin. Full back line, Kevin Moran, Seamus McBride and Joey Shields. The half back line, Dara McClafferty, Shane Herity and John McClafferty. Midfield, Shane McClafferty, the team captain, and Andrew McFadden. The half forward line, Stephen Carr, Paul McBride and Gabriel Cunningham. The full forward line, Michael Bradley, John Doherty and Willie McFadden. St Michael's now, with their first kick out, is going to be taken by Neil Toy, the full back. The referee for the final is Mick McGrath from Irua Ballyshannon. Coming towards Shane McClafferty. Shane on his trusted left foot, getting the ball in towards Michael Bradley again, and another chance and another point by Michael Bradley. And so the same move working again, with Shane driving it into Michael Bradley and Michael Bradley taking the score. The teams have met 3 times already this year in the championship. St Michael's have won all 3 games. The game in Downings, the game in Dunfanaghy, and then the Northwest Divisional Final. The kick out this time again will be taken by Neil Toy. Coming towards Don Johnson. Don Johnson getting it out the side of the field. Well played to Neil McFadden. Neil McFadden up towards Tootsie Carr. Tootsie there covered by Shane Herity. Carr still on the ball. Man calling for it inside. He overplays it, and so it's a free kick for Downings to be taken by Shane Herity, their centre half back. Downings starting this game very well. This ball coming again to Tootsie Carr. Tootsie Carr this time delivers it fast to Frank Ferry, cut off by John McClafferty. John McClafferty losing it. Mark Sheridan fighting for it there, and it's going to come loose again to John McClafferty. Don Johnson. John Johnson fouled there by Andrew McFadden. A free for St Michael's to be taken now by Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden and Don Johnson, the very strong midfield partnership of St Michael's. Shane's kick is going out towards Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry and Shane Herity. Shane Herity gets his hand to the ball, and it's a line ball for St Michael's. No, the referee says it's a line ball for Downings. It seemed Shane Herity put it out, but the award goes to Downings. Shane Herity's kick coming towards Shane McFadden. Shane does well there, getting the ball in towards Brian McLaughlin. Brian McLaughlin struggling for it there. Brian playing with one hand, getting the ball, still moving in, being covered by 2 Downings men. Brian gets the ball into this square, up she goes, out comes the keeper. It's a goal for Edwin Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney, who scored a goal in the divisional final, does a trick again there. Brian McLaughlin doing the spade work. Brian, who's going into this final with an injured arm, took off the plaster to play, and getting the ball into Eamon Sweeney, who made no mistake with the goalkeeper committing himself. The St Michael's team is Robert McElhinney in goals, the full back line Daniel McColgan, Neil Toy and Bernard McGinley, half back line Manus McCarry, Stephen Byrne and Neil McFadden, Don Johnson, Shane McFadden at midfield, Frank Ferry, Edmund Carr and Mark Sheridan, half forward line, Eamon Sweeney, Brian McLaughlin, Declan Rodden. This will be Paul McBride. The long ball again up towards Bradley. They're using this ball well. This time it breaks to Neil Toy. Neil Toy coming out with it and getting it in here, but it's a line ball for Downings. This kick will be taken by Shane McClafferty. Shane, son of Hughie McClafferty, of course, getting a good ball in there to Shane Herity. Shane Herity makes a mistake, gets the ball out towards Michal Bradley, covered by Bernard McGinley. Michal again gets round Bernard McGinley, the left-footed kick, and this time, is it accurate once again? It is another point for Michal Bradley, the equaliser for Downings after 5 minutes of the game. Plenty of scoring early on. Three points of fighting Michal Bradley, Jennifer Donadunav, agus Éanachush Worimni Egg Could Taki Henny Michal. This kick coming out evenly in the midfield, and it's Paul McBride who's doing well there as more or less a third midfielder, getting it to Shane Herity. Shane Herity being tackled there twice, getting the ball across to the far side where Willie McFadden is coming out with Daniel McColgan. Daniel McColgan struggling to get it, still struggling, breaking loose there. Eventually it comes to Downings man. It goes away out to Willie McFadden. Willie now with Mark Sheridan and covering him, and it's a line ball for St Michael's. Once again Neil Toy will take this kick. Very even game so far, a goal to 3 points. And again Shane McClafferty going up, but this time it breaks down to Manus McCarry. Manus McCarry going to Tootsie Carr. Eamon Sweeney pushes his man in the back, and so it's a free kick for Downings. Joey Shields pushed in the back there by Eamon Sweeney, and a line ball for Downings. Shane Herity will take it. Downings have never won an underage county championship. St Michael's have won one minor and one junior, not as St Michael's but as Creasla and Dunfanaghy. And it's Shane McFadden, their main man in midfield now, clearing that ball clear, chased by Shane McClafferty. Shane McFadden gets a kick in, he's fouled after the ball goes, and so it's a free kick where the ball lands. And so a chance for St Michael's. This will be about 25 metres out, and Shane McFadden himself is likely to take it. Mick McGrath pointing out to him where the ball landed, and so a chance here to either point it or drop it into the square. Shane McFadden taking the kick right into the square ball, and a free out for Downings. 7 minutes of the game gone. 1 goal for St Michael's, 3 points for Downings. The kick will be taken by Seamus McLaughlin, the Downings goalkeeper. Well taken there by Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney gets a kick in, well blocked there, but comes back to Eamon again. He's got a man inside him, and very good work there by the right back Kevin Moran, and Kevin Moran earns a free out for Downings, doing very well defensively there, and the kick will be taken by Seamus McBride. Goodish crowd here in O'Donnell Park for this under 14B final. Brian McLaughlin blocks it down and injures his arm again. The kick is blocked down there, but it's a foul and it's a free out for Downings. Brian McLaughlin, who's carrying that arm injury into the game, seemed to have worsened it there. Seamus McBride will take the kick. Shane Herity gets his hand to it, but it's Neil McFadden coming forward now. Neil McFadden, the quick ball inside. Up goes Rodden for the ball. Declan tackled by 2 men. He still's got it. He's still going there. He's being covered now by Joey Shields. Joey got his foot to the ball. Eamon Sweeney's trying to keep it from going over the end line, but he doesn't, and so it'll be a 30 metre, that's a wide ball according to the referee again, and a kick out for Downings. It seemed at that stage that it was a 30, but the referee overrules the umpire who of course is Brendan Roach of the Downings club, but now based here in Letterkenny. And Brendan had given the 50 to St. Michael's, but the referee said no. A little bit of a dangerous situation here as Seamus McLaughlin takes the kick out with the goal completely uncovered. Coming, however, towards Paul McBride. Paul McBride hooked away there by Manus McCarry to Tootsie Carr. Tootsie Carr, the long ball inside of Brian McLaughlin and Seamus McBride, and it breaks to one of the Downings defenders. I think it's Joey Shields, and out goes now Mark Sheridan. Mark Sheridan covered by Shane Herity. Sheridan gets the ball in towards Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney going with Kevin Moran, but the ball goes wide. St. Michael's not as impressive in their attacking as Downings, who have taken their scores very well so far.
Come on, Stephen.
9 minutes of the game gone. A goal for St. Michael's, 3 points for Downings, all of them scored by Micheál Bradley. The kick out will be taken by Seamus McLaughlin. Goal by Biden and Unav. Midfield very crowded. This ball comes towards Frank Ferry. Frank blocks it down, and it's Shane McFadden. Seamus pushed in the back, and it's a free in for St. Michael's. Shane, a son of Colin McFadden's, who has given long years of service to St. Michael's as a player, and now Shane, his son, looking forward to doing the same. Good kick to Tootsie Carr. Tootsie can't hold it. Brian McLaughlin does. Brian takes the shot. Is it good? It seems to be, and it is. Over the bar, the lead for St. Michael's, a point there by Brian McLaughlin after 11 minutes of the game. Well taken there by Brian McLaughlin, his first score. He's one of the main scorers on the St. Michael's campaign. A very fine campaign, unbeaten since the beginning of this championship. Seamus McLaughlin having a busy time as St. Michael's have most of the attack. The ball breaks again to Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney, ball inside to Brian McLaughlin. Keeper's out. Brian gets round his man, takes the shot and takes the point. Good score by Brian McLaughlin. And so these kickouts proving a little bit of a problem for Downings at the moment. This time the full-back Seamus McBride is going to have a go at the kick-out. St. Michael's winning most of the possession at midfield for the last couple of minutes. Not too strong either. Goes to Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry covered by Shane Herity. Frank still has the ball. He's fouled by Stephen Carr, and it's a free kick for St. Michael's. Team manager Tommy McGinley pointing the finger there at Frank Ferry, telling them to go forward and play the game. Shane McFadden will take the kick. St. Michael's managed by two senior players, Tommy McGinley and Seamus Friel. Downings managed by their senior player, Patrick Fenny McBride. Ball coming again towards Brian McLaughlin. Breaks loose, Brian coming round. Kevin Moran. Moran does well, gets it out only to Mark Sheridan. Mark Sheridan gets the kick in, and it's the keeper getting it there and clearing it out to the side of the field, but it's two St. Michael's men. If they can keep it in, Shane McFadden is trying to, but he doesn't succeed, so it's a line ball for St. Michael's. 1-2 to 3 points, 2-point lead for St. Michael's after 12 minutes of the game or more. Into Shane Herity. Shane doesn't do too well that time, and Shane McClafferty tries to rescue the situation. Tootsie Carr gets it out towards his left half forward, Mark Sheridan. Mark Sheridan covered now by Shane McClafferty. The ball coming into Kevin Moran. Moran is fouled there. Referee Mick McGrath seeing that foul and allowing the game to continue, I think, and the ball is cleared out, and it comes towards Andrew McFadden, who's having a quiet game and loses that ball and goes back to recover. Shane Herity does it for him. Shane crossing his goals, getting it out towards Stephen Carr. Stephen Carr, ball breaking loose, however, to Shane McFadden. Shane with a trusted left foot again, getting the ball inside to Neil McFadden. Neil McFadden loses it. Andrew McFadden coming out with it, out to Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden covered by Stephen Carr, well blocked down. Paul McBride on the ball now, and it's come loose to Stephen Byrne. Stephen Byrne inside to Don Johnson. Don Johnson, the left foot, well blocked down by Shane McClafferty, but it'll be a line ball for St. Michael's. Shane McClafferty picks it up, and again Shane coming out, and Shane, one of the many players here who are left foot is stronger. Bradley going with Bernard McGinley. Bradley pushed in the back by Bernard McGinley. Free kick for Downings. Micheál Bradley and Bernard McGinley Both of them having played on the Falcarra Community School team in the Ulster College's under 13.5B final this year, marking one another now. Also on that team was Shane McClafferty, who'll take the free. Again going towards Bradley, doesn't reach Bradley. Eventually comes to Andrew McFadden. Andrew covered by Don Johnson. Andrew is fouled by Don Johnson, and so Downings go back onto the attack. This free again will be taken by Shane McClafferty. First quarter of the game nearly gone, and it's a very even game, 1-2 to 3 points. St. Michael's having more of the possession, but Downings very much in it. Shane will take this free. Neil McFadden standing in front of him. Up goes Andrew McFadden, well taken there by Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden coming away for St. Michael's and sending it into the trees here in O'Donnell Park, so it'll be a line ball for Downings.
Come on, Junior.
Although Downings have won no underage county championship, they've had a good run in recent years, beaten in the under 14 final in 82 and in 86 beaten in two finals, the 12s and the minor final where they did so well. Michael Bradley back out to Shane McClafferty. Shane being harassed there by Bernard McGinley, being fouled then by Edmund Carr, and so it's another chance for Shane McClafferty to send the ball in towards the St. Michael's goal, his third successive kick now from about the same direction. This one is short, but it's cut off, read well by Neil McFadden. Doesn't go for him anyway. Shane gets it eventually. Shane being fouled again. This is his fourth one now, and will he be able, he's getting nearer the goal, he might have this one within his range and perhaps cut the deficit to 1 point. Shane McClafferty taking the kick. Shane, the Downings team captain. Doesn't just have the full direction. It's a chance and it's a goal! Oh, it's a great goal! I think it's Paul McBride took that and really rammed it into the net, and so it is 1 point between the teams, but it's Downings in the lead.
Come on, Downings! That's it, Shane!
And so here they come again. This time it's Shane Herity towards Michael Bradley. Bernard McGinley coming out with it. It's 1-3 to 1-2. Neil McFadden taking the ball away. Michael Bradley running after him. And it's a good ball up to Tootsie Carr. Can Tootsie make it? Out comes and it's a mistake there by Joey Shields. John McClafferty trying to recover, and it's a free kick for Downings. 1-3, 1-2. That goal coming after 16 minutes of the game. And once again, Downings doing well. The free has changed the other direction because he came too near, then he threw the ball away, and so Mick McGrath saying young people shouldn't do that at the game, and it's a free kick now for St. Michael's from where the original free was for Downings. This will be taken by Frank Ferry. It's 1-3 to 1-2, Downings in the lead. Frank Ferry, team captain. Short ball this time to Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden covered by Shane McClafferty. Shane McFadden getting the ball across. Shane Herity coming out, and he's fouled as he comes out, and Shane is doing very well there in defence, and so it's a free out for Downings. The kick will be taken by the goalkeeper Seamus McLaughlin. The game very evenly contested so far. In their first game in the Bridge, the beginning of the under 14B championship, it was a runaway victory for St. Michael's. It was closer than in Downings. It was decisive enough in the divisional final. Fairly even so far. Stephen Byrne. And the ball now coming to Shane Herity. Shane Herity doing great work there. Referees allows advantage. Andrew McFadden. Andy McFadden covered by Don Johnson. Andy turns well. Gets a long ball up towards John Doherty. John Doherty doing well again. Is Bradley inside? He tries to channel the ball through to Bradley. Doesn't succeed. Well cut off there by Bernard McGinley. Ball going towards Manus McCarry. Manus McCarry and Cunningham going for the ball. McCarry gets first ball in. Comes now to Mark Sheridan. Mark Sheridan. Good ball forward to Eamon Sweeney. He's got Shane McFadden inside him. He's got Tootsie Carr inside him as well. Tootsie's got the ball now. He's followed by John McClafferty. He's still going. Lovely ball inside of Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry takes a shot, and that's a great goal. A magnificent goal for St. Michael's to give them the lead. After 19 minutes of the first half, in this very, very good under 14 final, end-to-end stuff and good football. That was a great goal. Stephen Carr now. Oh, does he hold on to it too long? He gets away with it. Ball coming in towards Bernard McGinley, coming out well there. Ball breaks loose to Manus McCarry, who started the goal move. Manus, the drop kick. Stephen Carr just fails to make it. Shane McFadden does make it. Shane coming forward now, covered by Shane McClafferty. Gets a kick in towards, well, brought down there by Dara McClafferty to John McClafferty. John doing well, very cool. But the kick isn't too good. It coming to Neil McFadden and Stephen Carr. Neil doing well there. Stephen Carr will go down for it. He does. He takes it well. He's got a man inside. He's being well tackled. Is he being fouled? He is. And it's a free kick now for Downings in a game that's really coming to life. 2-2 to 1-3. St. Michael's are in the lead. Goals from Frank Ferry and Eamon Sweeney. The points from Brian McLaughlin. 2-2-1-3. Shane Herity's taking this kick. It's to Andy McFadden. Andy breaks it down, but it's eventually Paul McBride. Paul McBride and Shane McFadden. Shane goes down, does well on his left foot again. Will get this ball, but not well. Stephen Carr. Bradley's inside. He doesn't. Goes for John Doherty instead. Doherty is going to Neil Toy. Bradley breaks it down. Willie McFadden's going for it. Daniel McColgan's going for it. Bradley gets round Daniel McColgan. He's moving inside. He's still going. He's got it on the wrong foot. He gets it to the other foot, but he just... angle is too much, and so the score remains 2-2-1-3. 20 minutes gone. And certainly so far the game a credit to both teams playing fine football and a fine standard for the under 14B, considering there are 4 teams in the division that would be playing 14A, so if this is the 5th and the 6th, it says a lot for the standard. And Mark Sheridan is one of the good players on this St. Michael's team. Mark Sheridan doing well that time, being covered now by Dara McClafferty. John McClafferty, brother of Andy on the senior team, does very well. Lovely player, a bit like the brother. Shane doesn't hold it, Don does. Don is being hassled. Don still on the ball, Don. Getting the ball in now. Frank Ferry's there, Shane Herity's there. Declan Rodden's there, and Joey Shields is there, and Joey is the man that comes out with it and does well to get it to Shane Herity. Downing's playing very well at the moment. Ball Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden being followed now by Andy McFadden. Shane getting the ball in towards Eamon Sweeney. Blocked there by Moran, but not covered well. And out comes Seamus McBride, and Sweeney's still on the ball, but he shoots poorly, and it's gone wide. And it remains 2-2-1-3. 22 gone. 8 minutes of this first half left. 2 points between the teams.
Harry.
1955, Creaslow won the minor championship. 1967, Dunfanaghy won the juvenile championship. This kick is coming out now to Don Johnson. Don Johnson along, but is well cleared out there. But coming again to Shane McFadden. Shane, the kick is not so good this time, and it's a wide ball. Very, very strong. Shane McFadden at midfield. Downing's making a switch now. Paul McBride coming into midfield, and Andy McFadden moving to the 40. Downings with Johnson and McFadden giving them a lot of trouble, trying to cure it now by putting in McBride. Very crowded midfield at the moment, as the kick out is going to be taken by Seamus McLaughlin. Coming towards this side to Frank Ferry and Stephen Carr. Frank Ferry going down on it, doing well there, trying to burrow his way forward, gets a kick in. Wee McClafferty going back for it. He'll leave it to Dara McClafferty getting the ball. That's a good kick in. Up goes Stephen Carr. Up, oh, well taken by Shane McClafferty. He's a lovely fielder. Loses it eventually. Gets it. That's all right when you lose and gain, and that's great work. And the ball to Doherty with Bradley running, but Toy reads it well. Coming out now to Cunningham. Cunningham, the long ball in towards Bradley. It's too long for Bradley. Keeper McElhinney lets it go, and so that just didn't work. Downing's very, very dangerous on the breakaway, and that was another chance for them. Neil Toy did well originally, and Neil will now take the kick out for St. Michael's. Nearly 24 gone. Neil McFadden here wants it, and he might even get it. Not quite. It comes to Shane Herity and Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry, I think, touched that ball. No, the referee says it's a line ball for St. Michael's, which Frank takes towards Tootsie Carr, and that certainly is a St. Michael's ball going off Shane Herity. Edmund Carr leaving the ball there to Shane McFadden. Shane will take it. Good ball to Tootsie Carr, and well taken by Tootsie Carr as well, and he's going in and takes a shot, and it seems to be going for a point. It is a point. Good score. Two-three to 1-3. Edmund Carr scoring that one. Very good bit of fielding. Carried the ball and took the score. 2-3, 1-3. With roughly, on my watch, 5 minutes to go in the first half. St. Michael's marshalled on this side of the field by Tommy McGinley, on the far side by Seamus Friel. Anyway, the kick coming out towards Andy McFadden. Andy not doing well that time. Shane McFadden was putting in an awful lot of work in the first half, getting the left-footed kick up there towards Edmund Sweeney. Oh, well blocked down there by Moran, and it comes eventually to Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney being covered there by Paul McBride. Eamon gets the kick in low to Brian McLaughlin. Brian, oh, beautiful turn and a shot and a goal! That's brilliant!
Come on, Seamus, 21
And suddenly the game has taken a swing. It's 3-3 now to 1-3. Great turn there by Brian McLaughlin and a great shot. And so it's 3-3 to 1-3. The standard of scoring very high. That was a fine goal. Previous point was a fine point. And so Seamus McLaughlin, who hadn't much chance with that, is going to take the kick out. 3-3 to 1-3. St. Michael's seem to be on their way. Far side of the field, once again it's Shane. Manus McCarry getting the ball in, but it's young Moran coming out. Loses it to Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden coming through again. Ball into McLaughlin. They know McLaughlin's dangerous. McLaughlin, the other McLaughlin gets that one. Seamus McLaughlin gets a kick out towards Shane Herity. Tootsie breaks it down. Herity should get the boot to this. He hesitates. He gets the kick down towards Neil McFadden. Neil doing very well today at left half back. Out they come. McBride. McBride again. It's picked by Tootsie Carr. Tootsie Carr inside. Lovely bit of football there to Frank Ferry. Just unfortunate. Shane Herity. Shane still fighting for it. Rodden fighting for it. Shane getting it out. Doesn't succeed. Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry covered by Shields. Ferry inside to McLaughlin again, and McLaughlin has another chance, and it's just gone wide. And now Brian McLaughlin opening up here. He scored 1-2 already to be the game's leading scorer. 3-3 to 1-3. 3 minutes or so left in this first half, even for most of it, but St. Michael's pulling away a bit in the last couple of minutes with that goal and a point. McBride taking the kick out, and it's coming to Stephen Carr, who is a little bit fortunate to get that free in that he didn't go for the ball at all, and Shane McClafferty taking it forward and leaving it there for Shane Herity to take. Shane Herity taking it. Scory Yoler na Dunav go Cruy in a Shrivelia Hama, Shachis Gahul, Kanshagala Shahik Stephen Carr. Stephen takes this one well. And the left footed kick. Good ball inside to Andy McFadden. Andy takes a shot himself. Not bad either. Robert McElhinney is very dependable in there. Was it over the line? It wasn't over the line, and it's come out to Bernard McGinley. Bernard McGinley wrongly leaving clearance. Taken well there by Shane. Loses it then. Ball coming out this side of the field to Shane Herity. Shane Herity loses the ball to Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry is fouled. Bit of a careless kick there by Frank Ferry afterwards. Referee didn't see it, and it's a line ball to Downings. Shane McClafferty taking this one. But only to Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden in to Mark Sheridan. He looked up and he saw Mark didn't quite make it. That's Dara McClafferty who's playing well. Dara coming out, loses the ball. Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney doing well today. Getting that ball inside to Rodden. He'll give it to McLaughlin inside. McLaughlin going. He'll take the turn again on the shot. This one isn't as strong and it goes wide anyway. So in the last couple of minutes of the first half, 3-3, 1-3. The kick out will be taken this time by Seamus McBride, the Downings full back. Down St. Michael's once again proving a little bit all round the stronger side despite some very good individual performances by Downings. A lot of football in the St. Michael's forward line with Ferry and Carr, McLaughlin very prominent, Sheridan good player. Shane Herity going for this with Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry gets it and gets a good ball inside to Carr, and Carr goes round his man and he's still going in, and a good ball inside to Rodden. Rodden takes the shot and it's hits the bar, comes down, and it's Scrumoggle in there, and the referee's going in. The defence is coming out, and the defence did well there. It was Kevin Moran, I think. It comes back to Rodden again. This one goes in, and it was a square ball there. Brian McLaughlin standing in the square, and so it's a free out for Downings. Not much left in this first half. Very entertaining first half it has been. Good standard of football. Seamus McLaughlin taking the kick out. Busy man in the first half, Seamus. There goes the half-time whistle. Half-time, St Michael's 3-3, Downings 1-3.
(12-6).
Working. And so, as we're getting the batteries recharged there, St Michael's have added another point at the beginning of the second half by Brian McLaughlin. Brian's tally now 1-3. So it's St Michael's 3-4, Downings 1-3. The kick-out will be taken again by Seamus McLaughlin. One of the problems with the underage is that it's difficult to get away from kick-outs, and Downings are having that problem a wee bit today. That one is low and to Shane McFadden. Shane going through with plenty of space, and he opens his eyes, and it's a good goal. It's a good goal. And again, it was really clever play. You could see him there on the video looking up, seeing the keeper out, seeing the goal empty, and taking the chip in. Very, very clever, intelligent play by Shane McFadden. And now St Michael's seem to be pulling away a bit here. And so again, the kick out is proving the problem, or one of the problems. Seamus McBride taking it this time with the keeper in, running along to Stephen Carr, but Neil McFadden gets it down there to Declan Rodden. Declan Rodden back to Edmund Carr. Edmund Carr inside towards Johnston Don. Dara McClafferty, who is doing very well time and time again, towards Stephen Carr and Tootsie Carr. And Tootsie Carr beats Stephen Carr, goes round him, and then gets the ball inside to where Shane McFadden, who's really started the second half tremendously well, and another high dangerous kick, and it goes wide this time, and so it remains 4-4 to 1-3. 1-1 added the beginning of the second half. And so a good chance now for St Michael's to take their fourth county championship, the minor in 55, the juvenile in 67, the junior in 83, and the 14B seems to be beckoning now in 1989. Seamus McBride takes the kick out. Downings will fight to the end, and Shane McClafferty nearly caught that very cleanly. He's fighting away for it there. Boots going in there. Shane Herity is the man who comes out with eventually. He's held, but he gets the kick in, but the referee says it wasn't much advantage to him, and so it's a free kick to Downings, which will be taken by Shane Herity, working very, very hard, working tirelessly there in the Downings defence all day. Stephen Carr going up, getting one hand to it, then recovering and getting both, and seeing Shane McClafferty, but overhits it, and out comes Daniel McColgan. Daniel slips, the ball breaks eventually to Paul McBride. Paul McBride trying to get the ball inside towards John Doherty. John Doherty, Neil Toy, drops. Oh great, that's a goal! That's a goal! Paul McBride, the scorer there after 3 minutes of the second half. That's Paul's second goal. He's now even with Brian McLaughlin, and Downings might come back into the game now. Not if Mark Sheridan can help it. Getting the ball up towards Eamon Sweeney. Did he give a wee push there? He got away with it anyway. McLaughlin coming out, losing the ball to Seamus Princhy McBride. Seamus trying to get out. He does get out. Gets the ball across towards Shane McClafferty. The two Shanes, McClafferty and McFadden going for it. But Neil McFadden once again going in. Very, very intelligent player towards McLaughlin. Broken down by McBride. Comes to Rodden. Declan Rodden trying to get round. Takes the shot. Not too strong. And it's gone wide. And it remains 4-4-2-3. That goal bringing some life back into the game again, as Downings are by no means buried. And Robert McElhenney making a good effort to get to it, but deceived eventually by the ball. The kick will be taken out by Seamus McBride. It's 4-4-2-3. 4 minutes of the second half gone. going towards Tootsie Carr. Tootsie Carr getting the ball in towards Brian McLaughlin and Seamus McBride. Seamus doing well at the beginning of the second half. Over holes, eventually gets the kick out, blocked there, and the kick taken by Mark Sheridan, this time taken by Seamus McLaughlin, who kicks it out well, the far side of the field where Shane Herity will have to work hard for it. Shane does well. Think it goes off. No, it doesn't go off. St. Michael player, it goes off Shane himself, and so it's a line ball for St. Michael's to be taken there by Shane McFadden. Team coach Seamus Friel standing behind him there. They've put an awful lot of work into the St. Michael's team this year. They've trained very, very hard, and they've had a very, very good campaign. And Shane McFadden's been one of the stalwarts of it. In it goes, and it's taken very well there, or blocked down well by John McClafferty, cleared by Paul McBride, but Tootsie Carr coming onto that ball. Tootsie Carr now, kick well blocked down there by Shane Herity. Dara McClafferty coming out with it, up towards Andy McFadden. Andy is lucky enough that the ball breaks kindly for him. Andy will get the ball in now towards the right where Bradley and McGinley, but McGinley wins it this time. Bernard McGinley, this side of the field, it will come towards Manus McCarry. Manus McCarry and young Gabriel Cunningham. Manus is pushed by Gabriel, and it's a line ball, for a free kick for St. Michael's for that little foul on Manus McCarry down below us here. The free will be taken as usual by Shane McFadden, and here we see Shane beside us, one of the main men on this team, and he sees Tootsie Carr coming, decides instead to go for the equally unmarked Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry cutting through there, selling a lovely dummy and sending a very accurate kick in that is taken well by Seamus McLaughlin. Seamus getting it out to very open space. There's nobody there. Mark Sheridan will run, Don Johnson will run, Andy McFadden will run. Johnston seems to be getting the better of it. Johnson has it now, 2 men in front of him. Johnston getting round, gets his kick in. This left foot is being very evident all over the place today, and this time it's Frank Ferry. Play on, says the referee. Get it back to Shane McFadden in towards Brian McLaughlin and Seamus McBride. Brian a little bit afraid of getting it into the hands, so he's to play a bit of soccer today. Seamus hassling with him down there. Ball eventually touched on the ground. No, it wasn't, and Brian McLaughlin still has the ball, gets a kick in to a Downings defender. I think it's Joey Shields who concedes the 30 metre or the 45, which is a 30 in under 14 football. Shane McFadden might know that because referee Mick McGrath is telling him to come in from the 45 to the 30 metre, because in under 14 football all kickouts are taken from the 20 metre line and all 45s taken from the 30. Shane McFadden will be taking this one, dropping it into the square. Up goes Shane McClafferty, doesn't get his hand to it, and so Connie Maguire says the ball has gone wide. Connie Maguire, the St. Eunan's umpire, down at that end of the field. And so it's an uphill struggle for Downings. A few Saturdays ago they went out of the senior championship in the same kind of circumstances, playing uphill in the second half. Neil McFadden being chased by Stephen Carr. Stephen catching up with him. Ball going to Joey Shields and Declan Rodden. Declan getting the kick in. All the St. Michael's forwards can play a bit of football. So can Shane Herity. Shane Herity out towards Stephen Carr and Tootsie Carr. Once again the 2 cars are at it over there, and it's Tootsie getting this one, trying to get round. Stephen does very well, get the ball inside, but Shane McClafferty, very determined, wins that ball, gets Andy McFadden out of his way and surges forward, tries to find Bradley, but for the second time Bernard McGinley is better positioned. Paul McBride does well to get that ball, shouldn't have hopped it, maybe does well to get it to Shane McClafferty. Shane trying to get it onto his left there, he's pushed, and it's a free for Downings in their own half. It will be taken, I presume, by Seamus McBride this time. It seems to be a switch there, that Shane Herity has gone back to full back. Seamus McBride has come out centre half back, and Paul McBride will take this. Paul's kick goes towards Andy McFadden, and there's a push in the back, and it's a free for Downings. 4 goals and 4 points to 2-3. 9 minutes of the second half gone, 20 minutes left, plenty of football in it. Paul McBride will take it. Paul now decides to wait till Shane McClafferty goes in to fight for this ball. Eventually he hits it before he reaches in, and it means Don Johnson has a clean catch, and he kicks it out towards Tootsie. Tootsie with two men on him, and Frank Ferry comes away with it, and he loses it to Paul McBride, and it will be eventually big Don Johnson who gets this ball down towards Joey Shields and Neil Rodden. Joey will come out with it, Joey being held by Neil, Joey getting the kick in, Stephen Carr will go for that, Neil McFadden will go for it, Declan Rodden will go for it, Declan Rodden getting it in, and the two McLaffertys there, and it breaks eventually to Junior or John McLafferty. John is fouled, very, very nice player John McLafferty, and the kick will be taken by Shane Herity, who takes it quickly, but nobody's looking, and it comes eventually, luckily, to Shane McLafferty. Shane is held free for Downings. Downings coming back into the game a bit now again. 4-4-2-3. Shane's kick going in towards Paul McBride. Well taken there by Shane McFadden. Shane McFadden coming out with it there now, being followed by Andy. But Shane, lovely solar of a ball, lovely left foot. And that should be Seamus McBride taking it clear. Seamus McBride being held there, and it breaks to Dara McLafferty. Dara coming forward. Dara's being fouled by Mark Sheridan. It's a free for Downings. Not a single bad foul in the game so far. Very, very clean game. People trusting in the football that they have. This one is taken by Seamus McBride up to Andy McFadden. Andy loses it there. He's trying to gain it again, but it eventually ends up with Declan Rodden. Declan Rodden coming around Joey Shields. Declan soloing up the left wing. Getting a good ball then, but Shane Herity is in full back now, and Shane gathers that. Playing very well, Shane. The kick isn't too accurate. Declan Rodden. Declan, a lot of football in Declan, as there is in Tootsie Carr. Tootsie coming through. Oh, good ball inside to Brian McLaughlin or Mark Sheridan. Brian decides to take it on himself. He'll put it onto his right. He'll take the shot. Will it be long enough? It is. Fine point by Brian McLaughlin. Personal tally 1-4. 19 minutes of the game remaining. Downings 2-3, St Michael's 4-5. And so, beginning to look more and more that the Dunfanaghy-Creeslough area will have a county title in it by tonight. And many people have worked many years for this kind of achievement. Tootsie Carr, Shane Herity, Mark Sheridan, Seamus McLaughlin, covered by Brian, fouled by Brian, free out. Will be taken by Seamus McLaughlin himself. As I said, many people have worked very hard in the Dunfanaghy-Creeslough area well hit by emigration as well, but people keep going on, and two of the senior players, Seamus Freeland, Tommy McGinley, looking after this team and doing so very well. Frank Ferry is one of the future men, and Frank's kick is not so good this time, and it's a wide ball, but it keeps the ball down at that end of the field, the far end of O'Donnell Park, and so another kick out for Downings. Shane Herity, the kicking out problem will be solved now. Shane, longer kicker of the ball than either the goalkeeper or the full back, and so this should be coming out to the middle of the field. It comes out to John McLafferty, who does very well there. John getting the ball across to the far side. Michael Bradley in a long run out. Will he make it? He does. Did he touch it on the ground? He's lost it anyway to Bernard McGinley. Bernard is bursting forward, and the referee says he was held, and it's a free kick for St Michael's. It will be taken by Bernard McGinley from Creeslough. And so Bernie, very competitive player, boy from Mummerafad. Ball goes to Rodden. Rodden to Carr. There's lovely combination in this forward line. They're opening it up a bit now. Carr's shot is not too accurate, but goes to Eamon Sweeney, and it's well taken there by young Moran. Moran, who hasn't done much wrong in there. It must be said, of course, that Downings are physically a weaker side, and they've really fought well in the circumstances. Frank Ferry, team captain. The long ball going in towards Mark Sheridan, Shane Herity. Shane lets it drop this time. I think he probably recovered, and didn't he do well to get the ball out towards Gabriel Cunningham. Gabriel Cunningham getting the boot in towards Andy McFadden. Andy being fouled, tackled by Stephen Byrne to Stephen Carr. That's good. Bradley's away. Will Stephen see him? He's going still. He's being well tackled. He's down, but can he get up? He loses the ball eventually to Gabriel Cunningham. Gabriel Cunningham in towards Willie McFadden. John Doherty. John, a good player. John getting the ball in. Bradley had gone the wrong direction this time. Bernie wins it again. Is Bernie pushed? Bernie's trying to get out, and Bernie does. McCarry doesn't make it, and it's a line ball for Downings. A chance there for Stephen if he had let it go earlier on, and eventually it was snuffed out by Bernard McGinley, who's made 4 or 5 very timely interceptions in this second half. We're nearly halfway through that second half. Shane McClafferty will take the line ball. Good ball too it is. Dropping inside there. Paul McBride for the hat-trick. It's a penalty. Paul McBride, always dangerous in that direction, and so a penalty that could narrow the gap to reachable proportions. Swung around there, I think, by Don Johnson as far as I can see, and so a penalty. Who'll take it? Shane McClafferty will be favourite. Robert McElhinney is in goals. It is Shane McClafferty, team captain, to take it. So Shane McClafferty against Robert McElhinney. It's 4-5 to 2-3. This would bring them within 2 kicks of St. Michael's. Heavy burden on Shane now as he takes this penalty. Referee Mick McGrath making sure everybody's at 13 metres from the ball. It's Shane McClafferty against Robert McElhinney. It's wide. Shane has missed it, and I suppose that really could be an important moment in the game. St. Michael's were generally on top, but a goal would have kept it very much alive. Shane trying to make up, but this time it's Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry once again finding Tootsie Carr. They're playing lovely football in this forward line, and that's wee McClafferty. What a lovely player he is, Darragh McClafferty. Far side of the field is Stephen Carr. Stephen doing well possession-wise, gets the ball broken down, but it's Shane McFadden along there between Shields and Rodden. Rodden doing better in the second half, but Shields wins that particular one. Joey getting the ball up towards Don Johnson. Johnson getting it down. Paul McBride tries to get away. Johnson, the long left-footed ball in. It beats Harity. McLaughlin has a chance, but the other McLaughlin, Seamus McLaughlin, once again comes to the rescue. Only out to John Johnston. John Johnston trying to get it onto his left again. Well blocked down by Shane McClafferty. Ball coming loose to Joey Shields. Joey Shields up to Stephen Carr. Stephen Carr getting the possession this time again. Hops it. Gets the ball up forward this time to Bernard. Comes out recklessly into that. The ball nearly broke through there to Bradley. A bit unlucky. Andy McFadden. Bradley's loose on his own. Can Andy get the long ball in? He does, but the late charge goes in on him. The ball had been cut off by Bernard McGinley anyway. Bernard a bit disappointed, and so it's a free for Downings. It will be taken by Shane McClafferty to Michal Bradley. Bradley is fouled, free in. This one will be taken again by Shane McClafferty. There's a substitute come in on the St. Michael's team. I think it's Gary Carey. Gary Carey coming in for Stephen Byrne. So Gary Carey is in the game. Man who missed previous games, who perhaps would have been a first team man anyway. Shane, well taken by the other Shane. Shane to Shane. And the other Shane McFadden getting it out. Frank Ferry will be favourite to win this ball. Frank Ferry does win it. He looks around. You can see all the St. Michael's forwards all trying to place their men. A very good forward line. Eamon Sweeney fighting for that one, but it's well taken by John McClafferty. John McClafferty, but it breaks to Neil McFadden, one of the many redheads in this St. Michael's defence. Mark Sheridan towards Rodden and Joey Shields again. Joey Shields is pushed in the back by Declan Rodden, and so it's a free for Downings with 12 minutes or so to go. 4-5-2-3. Shane Harity will take it. Shane McClafferty taking it very cleanly there. Lovely fielder of a ball. Shane going forward himself. Gets the ball in now towards Bradley coming on the side. Beats Neil Toy, but Bernard is there again. Bradley going in and tough him, but Bernie having a great second half there and getting that ball anywhere. And anywhere this time will mean it goes to Stephen Carr. Is Stephen fouled? No, it breaks loose to Neil McFadden. Neil McFadden, lovely player too. It's obvious these people have put in a lot of effort. There's a lot of work being done with the St. Michael's team. Brian McLaughlin will be going with this with Shane Harity. Shane having a great game. They're at full back, and he'll get this one and comes out and gets it along the line to Rodden, but Rodden touches him and it goes out, and it's a line ball now for Downings. Bummuchi yegdan chlisha faka kamar gwil ni Michal gola winch kriva chun dai fika arjeg B at an aduna va tridlo. Shane Herity will take it. Done a lot of kicking today, Shane, and has had a good game. Many people on both sides have had good games here. Plenty of football. It's a lovely evening for football. Mark Sheridan's full of football. Mark sending the ball in again towards Brian McLaughlin, and this must be another goal, and it is a beauty. And once again, we see the intelligence and the craft and the footballing brain of these St. Michael's forwards. Have repeated it very often that all of them have produced moments of beauty in this game, and that's another one. Brian McLaughlin has scored 2-4. He's his team's top scorer. The other scorers are Eamon Sweeney and Frank Ferry, a goal each. Tootsie Carr and Shane McFadden, or Tootsie Carr and a point, Shane McFadden a goal as well. Ball breaks in there to Eamon Sweeney. Eamon Sweeney, the long ball into Shane Herity. Shane coming out, very dependable since he went full back. Getting it across. Joey Shields loses it to Rodden. Declan Rodden. Joey recovers well. Declan will go out for that ball, should make it. Declan Rodden going for it. Right footed across. And up goes Shane Herity. Waits for that one. McLaughlin breaks it down again. A chance here. And it's gone eventually over the bar for a point for Eamon Sweeney. Or is it a 50? It's a 50. It's a 35. The direction wasn't too obvious there. It's a 35. It was Eamon Sweeney took it. The Downings scorers, 2 goals for Paul McBride, 3 punts for Michael Bradley. Only 1 score for Downings in the second half, of which we have about 8 or 9 minutes remaining. Shane McFadden. That's a fine kick. That's a point. And so, St. Michael's well in command now, 5-6-2-3. This will be their 4th victory over Downings this year. They will become the 3rd winners of this Under-14B Championship. Lifford and Niamh Connell, the previous winners. Don Johnson, Shane Herity. Shane Herity in a bit of bother. Ball coming to Kevin Moran. Kevin Moran coming out. He's fouled there by Eamon Sweeney. Free out. No such thing as bookings or anything in this game so far. It's been played in a great spirit, even though they've played. There's a sub on the Downings team now. There are 2 subs on the Downings team. Brian Kern and James McBride have gone in. Brian Kern and James McBride have gone in, and 2 men have come off, Willie McFadden and Gabriel Cunningham. And so these men being given a run now towards the end of the game. We'll just call them subs. Neil McFadden. Oh, hits the post, and it's McLaughlin in the net again. "3-4 he scored now, this man who say took the plaster off, or as Bernie McGinley put it, broke the plaster so that he could play in the final, and now he's turned around and scored 3-4 in the final. It's 6-6-2-3. And so the St. Michael's team that will have won this county championship, Robert McElhinney is the goalkeeper. Anyway, we'll follow the play for the time being. Paul McBride. Paul McBride coming out with the ball. He pushes his way forwards. Downings won't give up. Michael Bradley going for that ball, beaten a bit for height, but wins it. One of the subs going onto the ball. Is it Kern? Gets the ball inside anyway to John Doherty. John Doherty coming through. Bernard McGinley tackling him. And the ball coming to Neil Toy. Neil coming out. Good ball to McGinley. Now the defence is going to start to pass the ball about. Coming loose to Neil McFadden. 1, 2, 3. Neil has got a man in front of him. And when he has, he gives it to him. That's Johnson. Johnson is a man in front of him. And he gives it to him. That's Frank Ferry. Now they're playing football all over the place. They're a very good side, the St. Michael's team. Frank is going on his own. Play on, says the ref. Which I think is a good decision by Mick McGrath. Shane Herity coming out. Shane Herity getting it out the far side of the field, and is it going, not gone, however, not with Neil McFadden there. They're fighting for everything. You think they were losing, and it's Shane McClafferty once again. Ball up towards one of the subs there, but it's Daniel McColgan, one of the 3 or 4 Reds heads in this defence, and he places Carey, and Carey getting the ball up. He'll do well to do that. He doesn't make it. Frank Ferry does. Frank Ferry's a man outside him. Frank gets it to the far side to Mark Sheridan. Mark Sheridan rounds his man, then loses it because this young McClafferty is a good player. Shane McFadden, and the accuracy isn't as good this time. And so the county champions of 1989 under 14 will be Robert McElhinney in goals, Daniel McColgan, a son of Mick, Neil Toy and Bernard McGinley full back line. Half-back line, Manus McCarry, Stephen Byrne, Neil McFadden. Midfield, Dom Johnson, Shane McFadden. Half-forward line, Frank Ferry, Edmund Carr, Mark Sheridan. Full forward line, Eamon Sweeney, Brian McLaughlin, Declan Rodden. Subs, Gary Ferry, and 2 more subs have gone on now. We might find out in a minute who are the other 2 subs that have gone on. At the moment, Frank Ferry's going to take a point. He goes for a goal instead, and it doesn't quite make it. And Seamus McLaughlin does well, gets it out to the far side of the field to Tootsie Carr. Tootsie Carr slowing it down. They've plenty of time. They've the county championship won, and out comes young McClafferty. Once again, never say die, these Downings men. Going to fight to the very end, and there goes Gary Carey. Gary Carey inside to Neil McFadden. Neil, one of the stars of this team, very good player, and there's Dom Johnson. Great strength at midfield, and there is Kevin Moran, who hasn't put a foot wrong today. Kick blocked down there by Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry is fouled free in. If the numbers are right, I think Patrick Gallagher might be in the game for St. Michael's. Not so sure of that. And the other sub possibly may be Sean McFadden. The other sub definitely is Sean McFadden. Sean McFadden is on in defence, and I think Patrick Gallagher in the forward line. This will be a free for team captain Frank Ferry, who should now make it 6-7 to 2-3 and should score his own point, having already got a goal. He does that. So 3 minutes to go. 6-7 to 2-3. St. Michael's, the Northwest Divisional champions, are now going to become the county champions, having beaten Glen Swilly and Four Masters, as well as winning their way through in the Northwest. Through that campaign, Shane McFadden has been one of the main men, and now he gets another high ball in. Is it a square ball? It is, and it's a free out. So the game dying a little bit in the last couple of minutes, as there's no doubt about the superiority of St. Michael's, who have really produced it on the day with footballers all over the place, and certainly they would have done well in the 14A championship. Shane takes another point for himself. And so it's 6-8 to 2-3. A bit unfortunate for Downings that St. Michael's are pulling away a bit, but they're up against a very good side, not alone a physically strong midfield, but as I said so often during this game, a forward line that is very talented and that obviously has been very well coached and have worked very, very hard at it. Shane blocking that ball down, Shane McFadden, and it's Frank Ferry. Frank Ferry coming through. He's tripped, is he? No, he fell, and Eamon Sweeney gets the kick in anyway. Is that a square ball? McLaughlin has scored another goal. 7-8 to 2-3 at this stage, and now Brian McLaughlin's personal tally is 4-4. He scored as many goals as he has points. 4-4 he scored, which is a great score in a county final. 4-4 for Brian McLaughlin, and that carrying an injury. Shane Harity takes the kick out to the far side of the field. Neil McFadden, who will play and play and play. He will have 2 more minutes to play. And the ball comes now again to Neil. He's fighting away for there. So is Tootsie Carr. So is Seamus McBride. Seamus wins this one, and it's a free for Downings. Referee Mick McGrath, as usual, has handled the game with great authority and common sense. Had a very good game. Hardly a decision that would be queryable in the whole game. As I said, that's the St. Michael's team I gave you a minute ago, and well supported as usual by many, many parents, and as St. Michael's are very good club for doing the support, and they've, since the new divisional structure came in, they've been one of the great supporters, playing at the underage all the time, not winning much, but this is the day. Downings keeping on. That's one of their little subs, is it, Kern? Getting the ball inside to Michal Bradley. Michal, who started this game so brilliantly with the 3 points. Good ball inside. The second sub trying to get through. He's fouled, free in. As I said, for many years, since 81-82, when the divisional started, St. Michael's have played and lost many times, and here it is now, a team winning the county title, and great credit is due to their perseverance, to people like Brian McGinley, who Fields teams year after year after year, and so now they're about to wrench this county title. Shane McClafferty has done his bit in this game and tips that one over the bar, and it's 2-4, the second score for Downings in the second half, Shane's own first score. (7-8 to 2-4). We're in the last minute of the game. Referee Mick McGrath will be blowing up soon, and there'll be great joy then as this county title goes to Creasla Dunfanaghy. He blows it up, and St Michael's have won the under 14B county championship 7-8 to 2-4, and heartiest congratulations to them, to Tommy McGinley, to Seamus Friel, to the whole club, to the whole panel. They've done tremendously well, and one can see from the boys going round Tommy and Seamus there how much they appreciate what these young mentors have done for them and the work that was put in, and now they've done it, they're at the top of the tree. Well done down to Downings as well. Played their game even when they were well behind. They kept on playing, never a bad foul, played to the very end.
It's tough when you have that. Good stuff. Fine stuff, Evan. Good stuff.
We got this county team. We got those forward.
Frank, I just...
God, Frank!
William Ardus, Coagia, Aliano Lee, Foreign, Aduna, August Neve Michel, our son and Clay, Brass, Cordial, Jimmer Avenue. I like on behalf of the Donegal County Minor Board to first of all congratulate both Downings and St Michael's on a very fine sporting display of football. I commiserate with Downings, they lost today, perhaps next year they'll be back. Congratulations to St Michael's on a very fine display of football, and no doubt we'll be hearing a lot more of you in years to come. And perhaps it mightn't be too long until both Downings and St Michael's will be back here again contesting a final at an adult level. It gives me great pleasure now to present you on the 14B Championship Cup to the captain of St Michael's team. Thank you.
I Frank Ferry.
Out to the middle of the field to get you. Hard luck to Downings on putting up a fine performance in the county final. So 3 cheers now for Downings. Hip up! Hip up! Hip up!
Good cheer. I love the kids there. Come on, you Tommy.
The other side, and be in front of bring it up.
Come on, you move over.
You take that to have me now.
Just be born, that's the last.
And the
Oh, gosh. I am nearly 50. That's what I was Go on. Top of your head. On top of his head.
That's my lad. Right, Johnson.
Please, please. Be famous enough. Starting at Shay. Autographs now. Autographs
Sean, over the left. Man's doing cool. Look, put up your flag. Put up your flag for man. Eh?
Watch it. See there. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Tommy's crying. Don't be crying, Tommy. I want a drink.
I want to be Tommy there, I don't just damage him.
That's the same with frail boy.
I'm getting very heavy stuff, everybody.
What's frail?
Mira, I don't know.
Oh, number 90, that's it.
All time member, long time member.
They're the boys, right? You want them to get. What's their organisation from here? Hey?
I'll get out the road.
Take my years.
You know what I mean? Like dedication.
Please let it right.
I want to get rid of the
14, Donegal, 1989.
Go ahead.